Yo, welcome back to the Diaries. This is I think it's episode 12. I actually don't know. I think it's 12 or 11. Not too sure. But yeah, I feel like I've repeated the same thing on the last couple of videos, but which is maybe a problem. But, not much has happened the last couple of weeks. Yes, we've had a few sales here and there of the workshop. We had someone come into the coaching program, but really over the past week it's been about anyway putting the plan together of how we're gonna basically evergreen the company, and I spoke about that on the last episode, so I don't just want to repeat that. But and I talked about this a little bit on previous episodes, but I wanted to go into a bit more detail on this one because I think it could be of some value for some people. So this is one of the biggest realizations I've had. Yes, when I've started this business earlier this year, but also just running the agency as well. So, and this is what I built my agency on originally. And this is what so many people did over the past few years. And it was basically you'd run an ad, you'd run that to like a sales funnel, and then the sales funnel would make money. And obviously that's changed what that funnel looks like a little bit over the past few years. It used to be run traffic or run ads to like a low ticket product. Then you'd make money. Then people started doing webinars, selling like 2K products, 1K products. And then people started doing VSLs and they would get them on a phone call and you'd close a higher ticket product. But the main thing is that the process was very linear. It was kind of like just a straight line. And the biggest thing that, a lot of people taught online when it came to building a business was focus and the power of one. You need one product, one funnel, one traffic source. Just focus. And if you focus and do this consistently for like 2 years, you'll make a load of money. And they were right. That was kind of the strategy. And that was honestly my initial plan really for this business. It was it was a bit different, but it was to drive traffic through organic mainly and then from ads. And it was basically to drive them into like a low ticket workshop. And then it was to upsell them on the higher ticket coaching program. But the higher ticket coaching program in our niche is 1K. Right. So that was my vision for this. But as I've started, and again, as I've been obviously working with our clients at the agency, I feel like this is not the approach to take. Whether you do what I just said with the workshop and stuff, or you do ads to a webinar or whatever it is, initially getting set up, yes, that might be the strategy. But I really think if you want to make a ton of money, the market's changed now where the customer journey isn't so linear. Gone, or not gone, but it's not as common these days for someone to see an ad, to go through a funnel, and then for someone to buy. You are going to get, that 5% of the market who are ready to do that, and they will buy, the people who are really in pain and really need your product. And obviously you'll have some people in like your warm audience who follow you, who go through this process. But instead, what I found is that they might come from you from an ad, right? That might be the way they come into your brand. And they might go into like your first sales funnel, but they don't buy straight away. And what they do is they come down and they see you on YouTube. And then they go across and they consume some of your Instagram content. And then they join like another email list that you have. And then maybe they like have a look at you on like in your Facebook group. And then they might see a video of you pop up on TikTok. And then they might see another ad again from another one of your campaigns. And you can see instead of it being just like a straight line, like below, I believe there's a guy called David Mendez on Twitter. I think he was the first guy who he said it. I don't know if it was him, but he was definitely talking about this concept, and I totally agree. Instead of like a sales funnel, it's like being like a straight linear, hey, because this is what like Russell Brunson taught in the beginning, right? It was like, hey, a sales funnel just is a streamlined process and someone just comes through and buys. But this guy, David, he said, it's more like a spider's web now. I think he said that, or someone did anyway. It's like a spider's web. Because it's like, instead of going straight, I'll do it down here. It is an absolute, it's not a mess, but it's not linear. They're going back and forth across all of these different sources. And then eventually they have enough trust and belief in you in order to buy. you used to be able to very easily create trust with this initial process. But now, because of consumer behavior, because of all the different social media channels, because of the awareness level of these people. So, for example, when I first started, I bought a product from a webinar. So I went through this process that I'm talking about here. And I bought the product. And honestly, at that time, I didn't really think it was like a make money online product with affiliate marketing. I honestly, at that time, didn't think there was another way to make money online. Like, my awareness of the ability to make money online wasn't there, because this was in 2016 and it wasn't very common. And that was before really make money Instagram influencers were about. Back then, Tai Lopez was really like the only make money online influencer. The rest of the influencers were on like reality TV or like fitness people. So there wasn't that awareness among like the common person that, hey, it's pretty easy to make money online. So I just thought that was the only opportunity. So I bought the product, right? Because I thought that was the only way. But now we see people on YouTube and Instagram all the time, like my friends who aren't even in the entrepreneurial like space or world. Someone messaged me the other day asking me about Amazon FBA, if it's a good side hustle. I've had other people in the last year or so message me about Forex trading, right? And these are all people that aren't into entrepreneurship or anything like that, but they're aware of these business models now. So people may see an ad and then they may go through your funnel, but they're not going to buy straight away because they're going to shop around. They're going to go and shop around at all the different maybe competitors, or they're not going to buy straight away. They've heard about a different business model. So one of my friends, again, messaged me about YouTube automation the other day. So like people are just like considering all of these different options. So the buyer cycle, the cycle when someone sees an ad and when someone buys, is getting longer and longer. And then also we've obviously had the rise of social media. So therefore, like people, like these social media stars, people with a following on social media, they actually play a big role in people's lives. Like if I only follow a few people on Instagram and stuff, but those people, I see them every day. So they actually have I have a lot of trust in them. And therefore, if I'm going to buy a product from someone, say in the fitness space, it's probably going to be from, I'm probably not going to buy a fitness product, but if I was, it would be from someone who I follow. Right? So again, maybe they do want to buy from you and they go through your funnel, but they're going to follow you on social media first to check you out, to check if you're legit. Again, I remember in 2016, I remember seeing the ad from the guy who I bought from, and he's like a nobody now. I don't even think he has like an online business or anything like that. He was just, running some ads at the time, making money with his affiliate business. And I remember I checked his Facebook page, right? And again, this wasn't, I did have Instagram back then, but I don't think I followed influencers. And I remember I checked his Facebook page and they were just like inspirational quotes, right? There was no images. There was no videos of him. I had no clue who this guy was. I'd never seen him speak. Like the webinar that I bought from, he wasn't even on it. It was like from the affiliate, like the leaders in the affiliate community were running the webinar. So like the guy who's like ad I saw, who, email list I had joined, I didn't know what he looked like. I had no clue, no video or anything like that. I didn't know who he was, but I still bought. That would not happen today because we're so used to being able to just see people's lives and see people and see who people are on Instagram and YouTube that, there's no way I would buy a product from someone like that, especially if I was like buying a make money product online for the first time. There's no way that I would buy from someone who I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't see their face. It just wouldn't happen. So what I'm trying to discuss in this video is basically, this is what we are essentially trying to implement right now inside of the company, is this spider's web. So lots of different social channels, lots of different assets, because again, what people preach a few years ago, and some people still do, is focus. One product, one offer, one channel. And obviously you want to do that in the beginning, right? Like if you're making no money, then obviously don't go and do a million different things. But we made, whatever. We've done 20K months, blah, blah, blah. So how do we get to the next level? Well, I believe it is by implementing, maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I believe. It's by implementing this, by being, someone coming into our business's ecosystem and giving them the opportunity to spend a lot of time with us, because we've obviously got Instagram, we've got YouTube, we do TikTok videos, we have an email list. We're considering launching either a Facebook group or a school group. I think we're going to go for the school group. So we're having all of these different channels that we are producing content on. to really help people go through this process, to get people to spend more time with us more quickly so we can try and keep that lead to buyer window as short as possible. So that's kind of like what I've been thinking about for the company, honestly, this week. And that's what we've started to build out. We've still got a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, other than that, we've opened up the coaching program again. We've already had, I think, at least one person joining last week, which I know it's not crazy. It's not much money at all, but that was like with no effort whatsoever. So that's just through like email sequences and stuff like that. We've had some more people buy the workshop as well. So we're getting like 50 leads a day who download like different lead magnets from YouTube. So we're building this ecosystem. So it's my job to really kind of like build this system to make it, obviously we're like diluting our focus by like doing all of these different channels, but obviously I don't want to dilute it too much where we've got too much work, it's just inefficient and it's not working properly and the quality isn't there. So it's a fine balance between pumping a load of content out, being active on all these channels, but making it make sense and not doing like a little bit of Instagram, but doing it poorly, a little bit of YouTube, even though my business partner is very good on video. So they do a great job with the social content, but it's about, for me, for example, with the email sequences that, someone downloads the lead magnet and it sends them to the workshop. And then if they buy the workshop, it sends them to buy the coaching program. Like there's a ton of stuff that's already happening there. So I need to make sure that I'm on top of it, making sure that the emails are converting, not just setting up an email sequence and then just leaving it, assuming that it's going to work. Like analyzing the numbers, looking at the numbers. Maybe I'll do that on the next video because I analyzed the numbers from our like welcome email sequence the other day and they were okay. There's some improvements that I wanted to make. So maybe I'll show you that on the next video. I've got it up in a spreadsheet where I'm tracking obviously like open rates and click-through rates. So it's doing a lot of these things, setting up all these automations in these systems, but not doing too much that like I can't track it and optimize it. And I'm just constantly making new stuff because with marketing, day one is just when you launch the first test, right? You can't build an email sequence and then be like, right, I'm just going to leave it and that's going to make me money. You need to constantly, if you really want to be the best of the best, I believe anyway, you have to constantly be split testing and testing new ideas. And like with an email sequence, for example, it's a pretty basic marketing thing, but you set up an email sequence, an email flow, you let 100 or 1,000 people go through it, and then you analyze the numbers and analyze the subject lines and the click-through rates, and you try and make it better, 1% gains. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And thanks for watching. And I will see you on the next one.